Welcome to part 3 of the beginner's guide on how to use Flux Dev in replicate.com. So the previous couple of videos we did an overview of the main interface, and we also talked about changing the prompt and how that associates with a fixed seed. And today we're going to be talking about aspect ratio. So aspect ratio is very simple. It's in effect the shape we want our image to be. So if you've done anything before with aspect ratios and other software, this will make complete sense to you without any explanation. But for those of you who aren't familiar, I'm just going to go through this quickly with you now. So on the right hand side here, we can see some images that we generated in the last video, and I generated these at 3x2, which means it's 3. The first figure is always horizontal, and the second figure accounts for the vertical. So it's a ratio of 3 long by 2 high. Okay, and we can change this to whatever we want. So let's just pick a different one. 1 by 1, for example, is a square. So if we run this now, we shall get a square output. And then, bearing in mind, you can always crop these afterwards in some software in like photop.com, which is a great free photo editing software. So it may appear larger in my window here, by the way, but overall the approximate pixel dimensions will be the same or very similar. It's just how it displays in my screen. So now we've got 2 square images. Okay, and you download those by clicking the download button below. And if you wanted something more widescreen that would fit a phone, 16 by 9 is a standard aspect ratio for that. So again, we can click run, and we can generate this. And depending on the aspect ratio, sometimes you will get quite different results. You won't get a carbon copy result across all the different aspect ratios, and it might surprise you what kind of different looks and angles and compositions get presented dependent on the aspect ratio you're playing with. So we've gone 16 by 9, and already we're getting some slightly more cinematic looks because images trained in the system in the training data that would have been more wider aspect ratio would have probably tended to be either more cinematic or just had a certain look to them. So it is represented to some degree with the aspect ratios. So these look really nice. I'm going to download those. But of course, like I said, you can always crop these afterwards if you wanted a square. And the widest you can go with this particular model and replicate is 21 by 9, which is quite cinematic. So if we choose that one, for example, and we run again, we're now going to see some extremely wide shots, and we'll see how that adjusts the visual again. So yeah, so now we've got some very cinematic shots, and that can really, even if the image was similar, the aspect ratio alone is enough to kind of pull you into more of a cinematic kind of view to the image, whereas some of the others are a bit more sort of, I'd call the practical aspect ratio, but this is completely up to you. And of course, if you keep going down, they start to invert the other way and you start to go vertical. So 3 by 4, 4 by 3, 9 by 16. So a vertical, generally a vertical phone screen, smartphone screen type aspect ratio. So again, if you're doing images, but with that in mind, that's a great aspect ratio to run. And as you can see here, like I said, excuse the images appear large because of how they're fitting into the space here, but they'll all be approximately the same size overall. But as you can see, you're getting a lot more of the kind of the selfie-centric kind of view here, which is kind of obvious with this aspect ratio. Although this one's nice down here, nice sort of candid shot. So that's really all there is to aspect ratios. It's just experimenting, finding out what works best for your uses, but also playing around and finding out how the aspect ratio affects the prompt and how the subject appears within that ratio. Well, thanks for joining me on this video, and I will see you in the next one.